Welcome back, folks and friends. Connecting Dots here. It's Friday, October 24th, 2014, Fukushima Day 1322. And again, the Swiss are back in the news. So I'm not sure if you've been paying attention to my videos here on gold and silver, but I've been talking about how the Swiss have a different type of democracy than we do. They have direct democracy. They don't vote by electronic. It's all on paper. Totally different system. That's for another video, but what's important is they're also behind this gold initiative that's taking place, this referendum in their country taking place November 30th. And because of their type of voting system with direct democracies, there's a good chance this is going to go through. And what they're also behind now, I found, is this initiative here. Ever since Fukushima, they're trying to upgrade the type of safety responses in case of a Fukushima incident, and upgrading the nuclear reactors. It only makes sense here. So this story here talks about the U.S. Said it would join Russia, but I did a little bit of digging. Turns out U.S. It's not just U.S. and Russia. Canada's involved also here. They've all signaled here in opposition to these measures, which would put pressure on the countries to upgrade existing nuclear plants and reach the safety requirements of a new generation reactors. No, not Washington. No. This is what they say. Washington says it wants to improve the safety too, but sees no need to change the 77-nation Convention on Nuclear Safety, the CNS. It says Switzerland's initiative, tentatively backed by other European countries, could be counterproductive to us making lots of money. No, I threw in that lots of money part, but you know what it is. Counterproductive means they'll have to spend money on upgrading the nuclear plants for our safety, and no, they don't want that. It's sad here, and it goes on to say, listen to this disgusting part. A senior State Department official said about the proposal, he says, "You are trying to drop a Ferrari engine into a Volkswagen. If you want a new car, let's go to the showroom and buy one." I can't believe it. So if you've been following here my Fukushima stories, I did a story here how a commissioner from the U.S. Regulatory Commission, he'd resigned, went to Wall Street Journal, had an interview there. I think it was just 2 weeks after he resigned also. And he came out, he was very straightforward with this. He says, all of the U.S. nuclear reactors have to be closed down. They are all flawed. I'm not making up this stuff. This is a U.S. nuclear commissioner himself who's now resigned, trying to warn you all what's going on. Unfortunately, majority of the people just don't want to pay attention to this stuff, but I'm so thankful there's so many of you that do care, because there's people in Switzerland, because they have this direct democracy, they're making a change for us. It's up to us to keep this stuff in the news. Tell your family members, share the video, put it on Facebook. Regardless, what's important here that commissioner, he resigned. He said all U.S. nuclear reactors have to be closed down. They're all flawed. He also said that he didn't recommend they should all be closed down all at once, but he said they all have to be closed down. And also, you may recall I reported how this General Electric reactor that's the triple meltdown we have going at Fukushima, this Mark IV reactor, that specific model, the United States has 24 of them across their lands. So here we are after Fukushima meltdown, and we have these people in power that don't even want to upgrade the nuclear reactors in response to Fukushima, and now they even have 24 of the same similar models across their own country, and no, it's going to be counterproductive. Oh, I can't believe it. It's disgusting. They have so much power, they don't even care about us. Isn't that what Michael Jackson was singing about in his last song before they kill him? They don't care about us. Who's they? You got it. Illuminati, New World Order. Okay, so more sad news here. You may recall here, back in July here, there was a citizens panel that ruled that 3 former TOPCO executives, including then the chairman, Toshinisha Katsumata, should be indicted over their handling of the world's worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. Yeah, no, they have control of our governments. They have control of the judges. I hate to say it, because here it says that the Japanese prosecutors have delayed a decision on whether to charge 3 former executives. As if they have to delay this. The people have spoken. We want them charged. Get on it tomorrow. Anyways, here's another story here. I talked about this, how they're eventually going to have to take out all the spent fuel pools about all these reactors. Well, this story here was back in September 23rd, 2014. So it talked about how TEPCO here was going to begin removing the debris from reactor number 1, and that it would plan on doing it so in winter of 2015. Now it also spoke about, it said that it was planning on removing the nuclear fuel rods from the spent fuel storage pool inside the reactor 1 building in the later half of fiscal 2017. Now what's important is, many of you may recall here, when they did the same thing, they removed the debris at reactor number 3. Do you remember there were stories here how there was radioactive dust that had been spread about and had polluted the rice paddies? So yes, they're concerned about this, and well, I've got some footage here for you so you can see what's going on. So the story says here that TEPCO on Wednesday started the first phase of dismantling the protective cover installed over damaged number 1 reactor building. It said after the holes were drilled. There were no holes drilled, and I got footage for that. I'll back it up. And the other story that I'm going to show you, they said the same thing, holes drilled. There were no holes. It was punctured. And I think they're saying drilled so it would lead people to believe that the cover that was covering it was like solid, you know, it could definitely protect you from, well, no, you'll see in the footage. It was punctured. There was no drilling taking place. And you'll also see that the anti-dispersal agent was being scattered. I got footage on that also. And you'll notice that here it says that this is a preparatory work towards decommissioning of the damaged reactor, which is expected to take around 40 years. So just the decommissioning of that one reactor alone is 40 years. We have a triple meltdown here, folks. That's why I can easily say 40 to 60 years. Like I said, they don't even have the robots invented yet to deal with this problem. So another story here that I picked up, and this one here again from Japan, it says the same thing. After drilling holes in a 40-meter by 7-meter panel, the workers sprayed synthetic anti-scattering resin inside the building to minimize the possibility of radioactive substances being stirred up into the air. Okay? Cameras will also be inserted into the building to survey the vast amount of debris inside. Well, we already got a camera in there, and you'll get to see how, you know, there was no drilling. It was a puncturing. Okay, I'll play you a little bit of footage here before they actually puncture the hole. Now you saw how that picture the image skipped there? Well, it's going to skip again here very shortly. I'll let you know just a few seconds before. It seems like they had a hard time, I don't know, aiming where they're going to put it in. I'm not quite sure. If you're going to tell me it's because of the holes were drilled and they're trying to stick it in a hole, like I said, I got footage proving that. Okay, here, watch. It's going to skip again any second now. So it looks like they may have had a little bit of a hard time, or maybe it just took a little bit of while, so the camera was paused, but it seems to me like the camera moved a little bit, and they had to go at it another time. Regardless, it's going to close up here on this unit that they're sticking in to spray this agent, and I got some footage, as I said, from the inside, which is kind of weird. You know, apparently there's nothing in there, but you'll see some footage. Some camera was stuck in somewhere, because we can see this thing about to start spraying this agent in. Okay, I'm going to pause it here. Okay, here's a picture of it. I'll zoom in a little closer. Okay, now for the puncturing part. Pay attention right about here. That's where you'll see it puncture through. Any second now. See? I don't think there was any holes drilled there. That looks like that thing just punctured right through. So I'll let this footage go through. It's not very long. At the end, you get to see the dispersant being sprayed. So there's a reactor number 1, the top of the building here. As you know, you may have seen in past pictures, the roof was top 2 floors. All the siding was blown right off, exposing the pool. Okay, this person should start spraying any second now. Any second now. Maybe now? Holy jumping, come on. Okay, I fast forward a bit. Should start spraying any moment now. Here we go, finally. So I imagine they must have made several holes and not just at one location. And you know what, I have to admit, this is really odd. Every time I start making videos, my internet just slows down to like Zippo nothing. Seriously, as if I don't know what to say, and this is not even a long video. As you can see, it's only a minute 54. As if my internet can't load up that long. Absolute bullshit, folks. I'm sorry. I'm getting sick of this here. It's very evident that I'm being hassled, even right down to when I'm making videos. They slow down my internet. I'll pause this here because I want to show you a TEPCO and a couple other pictures. The moment I pause the video, it starts right back up again. Anyways, there's not much here. As you can see, they're spraying that dispersant in. Okay, so this is the way it looks like right now, as it's still early morning over there, 3:28 in the morning. Okay, let's finish up with a big thank you for all the donations. I've received several donations here ever since I published this story here October 17th. And I think it's become very apparent to many of you that we need an independent testing here on the West Coast, that the people in charge are corrupt and they're not doing proper testing. And as I mentioned in the past, they will continue testing the water, and they will continue telling you that the water, that the radiation that they found in the water off the West Coast will always be in minute amounts. Okay, this is very important, folks. I'm making the prediction now so you get this through your head. They will always tell you that they are not concerned that the levels they found in the water was low. And that's why I've been trying to raise these funds so I can buy a gamma spectrometer and I can isolate the specific isotope. Okay, because it became very apparent here on Fukushima Day 1205 that the FDA itself was lying about the testing of the safety of the fish in Alaska. Go watch the video if you haven't seen this yet. The gamma spectrometer, that's why we need it. Someone's got to do some real testing here. Our officials are corrupt. The nuclear industry controls. Our government controls our universities. It's sad. I've even showed here, in case you haven't seen this video, connecting dots to red flagged. I'm looking simply for prices on a gamma spectrometer, and you get to see in that video how the rep from one of the companies, you know, my email was now red flagged. So now it's been sent down to that office because, well, they already know how I spoke to another gentleman regarding his concerns for my Fukushima testing and how he dismissed the whole thing and basically lied. So I called him a liar right on the spot. I didn't know he was the president of the company. But regardless, if you're going to come have a conversation with me about radiation and gamma spectrometers and contamination of the West Coast, you better not be lying. And this is what I found. These people are lying. And even in this latest email, you'll get to read my my rebuttal to him, to this new gentleman who's now telling me again it's going to cost you $100,000 to buy a gamma spectrometer. Absolute lie. Thank you very much for the donations, folks. Okay, these gamma spectrometers, I've found them as cheap as $15,000. And they're not this people are going to say, well, no, that's the no good one. And no, it's not. I've seen these machines working. They're not crap, okay? You buy something worth $15,000, $18,000, you're not going to get a piece of garbage. The difference with the lab gamma spectrometer, which is what I mentioned in this email to this gentleman, is they can read it in phantom minute amounts. The same amounts that you will keep hearing coming from these people, that they find phantom minute amounts. Meanwhile, no one's checking the bivalves. No one's checking the fish properly. It's very evident. If you don't believe me, go watch Fukushima Day 1207. The FDA is caught lying by omission. No one's doing proper testing. In fact, a gentleman from the West Coast in Seattle caught 7 fish in January 2014, and 2 of those fish out of 7 tested positive for Fukushima radiation. Don't tell me we don't need independent testing. Hope you enjoy the information. Take care.